Hello students and welcome to the third lecture of this series, which is units, measurements and dimensions. Before beginning with this topic, let me just quickly recapitulate what we have discussed in the first two lectures. In the first lecture, we have seen what is science and what are the different branches of science and how they are interrelated with each other. And in the next lecture, we have seen the generalized scientific method, which is the go-to method to study any particular branch of science. It contains a particular set of steps which are followed to study any particular science, right? Now, whenever we apply the scientific method to any physical or chemical phenomena, we get something which is known as a theory. I have already discussed that a theory is a hypothesis which has proven to be true no matter what, right? For example, when I say any physical process, say when I release this pen, it is falling towards the surface of the earth. So this process is governed by a certain law of physics. In this case, you can say that the law which is governing this process is the universal law of gravitation. Now this law is the outcome of Newton's theory of gravitation, right? Another example we may say that when a fan is rotating, right, it is converting the electrical energy into mechanical energy. So this is also a physical process which is governed by the law of conservation of energy, right? So basically, a law is a part of a theory which governs a particular physical or chemical phenomena, right? There are lots and lots of laws, fundamental laws of nature, which we are going to study one by one. So what basically a law, I'll just quickly write down it. A law, it is a statement along with its mathematical expression. Whenever we apply the generalized scientific method, we do certain analysis, right? The analysis is mostly mathematical and we arrive at a mathematical conclusion in the form of an equation. So almost all the laws contain some kind of mathematical equation. For example, a very famous law that you have studied in your class 10th is the Ohm's law, which says that as long as the physical state of a conductor remains same, the current in the conductor is directly proportional to the applied voltage, right? So here in this law, you are seeing that the current in a conductor, whenever a wire is there and we apply a cell or a battery across it, then the current which is flowing through the wire is directly proportional to the potential difference which we have applied across it, right? So in this law, you can see that the current and the potential difference, they are directly proportional to each other. This is the statement of Ohm's law, right? This is Ohm's law. Another law, for example, it is also a very famous law, is the Newton's law of gravitation, which says that the force of attraction between any two masses is directly proportional to the product of these masses and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between the two, right? Here also in this equation, you can see that there are different quantities, right? So these quantities, they are known as the physical quantities. Here force is one of them, mass is there and the distance is there, right? Here also in Ohm's law, you can see there are different quantities. Here electric current is there and potential difference is there, right? So now you are basically clear with what is a fundamental law. So likewise, there are different laws. These are observational based laws, like whenever a physical phenomena or a chemical phenomena is occurring, what we do is we observe that phenomena, we ask a question why that phenomena is occurring, and we apply those steps of the scientific method, right? And what we get is a hypothesis which is explaining a lots and lots of different phenomena, right? So that hypothesis which is true in different aspects, so that hypothesis we call it as a theory, and the law is a part of that theory, right? So there are different laws. To list a few, I have given you the Ohm's law and the Newton's law of gravitation, right? So these are the laws which govern a given physical or chemical process, right? So after this, I am going to discuss about a physical quantity, right? So what exactly is a physical quantity? A physical quantity is any quantity which is used to describe a law of nature and which can be measured directly or indirectly. Now, when I say any quantity which is used to describe a fundamental law of nature and which can be measured directly or indirectly. So here are 2-3 things for a physical quantity to get qualified as a physical quantity, right? So this criteria is used to decide whether a given quantity is a physical quantity or not. So here some important words are there, like measurement, right? So what is basically measurement? I'll tell you what is a measurement. The measurement it is the process of comparing an unknown physical quantity with a known physical quantity of same nature by which we quantify. Quantify means we assign a numeric value to the unknown physical quantity, right? To the given quantity. To the given quantity. So for example, I'll tell you, let us say I have a line segment, right? Let us say I have this line segment AB and I ask you to measure the length of this segment. What will you do? You will take a scale. You will try to mark the zero of the scale with this point A, and wherever this point B is intersecting, you will quickly tell me that this is the length of this segment. So what you have just done is you have compared the length of the scale with the length of this segment, or the length of this segment with the standard length of the scale. So here what we have done is we have measured the length of this segment. So we can write this as the length of segment AB. Let us say this mark is 7, so you can write it as 7 centimeter, right? So this is how a physical quantity looks like. It has a numeric value in it and it has a unit. I'll discuss everything one by one. So here you can say that the length of the segment is 7 centimeter, right? So after this I am going to discuss about different physical quantities and how to represent a physical quantity. So in order to represent a physical quantity, there is a particular way in which we represent a physical quantity. Any physical quantity is represented with its numeric value and its unit. This numeric value is also known as magnitude of the physical quantity, and this unit is the standard chosen for measurement. Now, what do you mean by standard? Anything which is universally accepted, that is known as the standard. So unit is what? It is a standard chosen for measurement. We cannot just compare, say, let us come back to the example of this line segment. I cannot compare the length of this segment with the distance between two fingers of my hand, right? It is not a standard quantity because the size of my hand is not, every person's hand size is not same, right? There are infinite number of people in this world. They may have different sizes of their hands, so this is not the way to compare the length of the segment, right? So you have to compare it with the standard length. So there is a council of people who have decided what is standard and not, and we are going to discuss it one by one. So this is how a physical quantity looks like. It has a numeric value along with a unit, which is a standard which we have chosen for measurement, right? So this is clear with you? Yes.